The Rose Bowl, college football playoff semifinal number 1, Alabama against Michigan. And Michigan, as it sits, a 1.5-point favorite, total of 45. This one's January 1st, 4 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. Let's look at the numbers. Full season would have Michigan favored by 11 points. That's a pretty big deal, you would think. Their offensive numbers, great, number 18 PPA per drive. Their defensive numbers, number 2 PPA per drive. Alabama, number 30 and number 23, respectively. You look at PPA margin for the full season, and Michigan is number 2. Alabama is number 19. Not a vintage full season Alabama team. But whoo boy, you want to see a big difference? I mean, just here, the 5 factors plus talent rank for the full season. Alabama is number 4, and Michigan is number 1. 2 teams that know how to play winning football, period. But let's get to the last 6 weeks of the season, and all of a sudden, Alabama is ranked number 8 in PPA margin. Michigan is number 54. The Michigan offense completely fell off the map. And the defense is still good, but not great, right? Number 26 PPA per play, or PPA per drive margin. There's no margin there. Number 26 PPA per drive allowed on defense. That's what I'm trying to say. The offense for Michigan, they only throw the ball 40% of the time. They're number 87 in PPA per pass. The Alabama defense, their secondary, is going to have a massive advantage here. Like, just massive advantage against J.J. McCarthy and that bunch. Because I don't know that there are any real difference makers for Michigan on offense. I don't think they've got anybody that can extend the field, right? So as far as PPA per rush, Michigan might be able to have some success there because you look at what this Alabama defense has looked like against the run. Now, granted, these are the last 6 weeks, so when you look at these rushing numbers, you're looking at Auburn with all of their motion and their delays and whatnot, and you were looking at LSU with their quarterback scrambles and whatnot with Jaden Daniels. So those are certainly in there. Georgia did not have a lot of success. Michigan, they don't really do anything to disguise what they're trying to do. They just run it at you. Are they going to be able to do that against Alabama? That's the question. But if they try and pass the ball, you ain't going to have a whole lot of success there. I mean, Alabama number 9, PPA per pass allowed. Michigan's offense number 87. When Alabama has the ball, this is where it's going to get interesting. Bama runs it 60% of the time as well, or close to. They're number 14 in PPA per rush. Michigan's defense is number 12. When it comes to offensive line yards, both of them are number 36 in those respective categories. When it comes to stuff rate, Michigan only number 75 in stuff rate over the past 6 weeks. Alabama number 37 in stuff rate allowed. You look at standard downs, PPA, standard down success, Alabama number 9 in standard downs PPA, standard downs predicted points added. Michigan's defense number 49. So is Michigan going to be able to keep Alabama behind the chains? The numbers certainly don't bear it out. Over the last 6 weeks, 5 factors plus talent, Alabama's number 1, Michigan is number 7. There has been a shift. Michigan has not been as good down the stretch, and Alabama has significantly gotten better. This one is fairly easy for me to call. I'm going to take Bama plus the 1. I think they are better than Michigan right now. I know if you look at the full season and you see how much Michigan was dominating early, that's one thing. There was a shift somewhere before the Penn State game even. They just don't look as good now as they did, and maybe they just thought, well, we can coast to the playoff, and once we get to the playoff, then we'll pick it back up. Alabama already picked it up. I know they didn't look good against Auburn. They certainly did against Georgia. I'm going to take Bama. I don't think that Michigan has seen a player like Jalen Milroe. I'm excited for this one. So give me the Tide plus the 1.5 on that one. Thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Make sure and follow me on Twitter at GaryWCE. If you want to toss in a question, you can email me, Gary@winningcureseverything.com. Make sure and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.